Welcome to Daily Chess News, your quick source for the latest games, players, and stories from the world of chess. Hikaru beats Gukesh in Dallas and then grabs his king and throws it into the crowd. The clip goes viral instantly. If you only saw the clip, it looks insanely disrespectful. But here's the context. This was an exhibition. Players were told to hype it up, trash talk, celebrate big, even toss pieces WWE style, and Hikaru went all in. Here are some of the reactions to the controversy.
It is obviously disrespectful and pretty crazy in a traditional chess environment to reach over, grab your opponent's king, and throw it into the crowd. I literally don't think that has ever happened in a traditional chess setting. But this was not a traditional chess setting. Shout out to my jersey, by the way. It looks really nice. And the organizers for making that. This was an exhibition. We were told to do this.
It was even said like you can break the king and stuff like that. So for someone like at least me, or I think even Gukesh at that point, were thinking like this is too much to break the king or something, because I think chess is looked at least in India or for some Indian players differently, because we grow up looking at chess like it's very, very sacred, you know, something which you can even see like cricketers. Many of the cricketers have this bat and ball and pads and so on, and they really take care of it like it's providing them a source of livelihood. And I remember
understand why it feels off to so many people. In India, you know, our work, we treat it like worship, and chess is not just a game, it means something more. So for me personally, it would be impossible to do something like this. But in West, things are more casual. It's just game, and you know, this is all part of the plan to make it more entertaining. So it's just a different lens of looking at things in my opinion. What's your take?
Like, it's not my style to do something like that. So it's not something I would do. On the other hand, since it's part of what you expect from this event, I don't really see the big deal. You know, if that's how Hikaru celebrates, I certainly don't see it as disrespectful. It's not my style to do something flashy like that.
But there are all these people trying to make it out into some huge deal. They're like, oh, I'm insulting Indians, or I'm racist, or it's something along those lines, or you should never do that. I'm trying to make fun of Gukesh. Obviously the reality is it was an entertainment event. Now, if this were a professional event, let's just say the candidates, for example, or world championship match, of course you would never do anything like that. Nobody would. Doesn't matter whether it's me, Magnus, Hans, Anish, whomever it might be. Nobody would ever do something like that. But this event was purely an entertainment event. It was an attempt to try and show that you can have fans in person watching this very, very boring game of chess, because it has a fast time control. Pieces are going everywhere and the players are showing some personality. So my most insulting part is finding out my goat is noodle arm. Incorrect, you guys. Two things about the king throw, actually, since people are asking. First thing, because of the way the king is shaped, I couldn't take the king and really throw it like a baseball. If the king were shaped like a baseball, I would have just thrown it like probably halfway deep. But the problem is, because of how a king is shaped, I had to underhand it, because if you try to throw it, you might accidentally hurt someone. I'm not actually joking when I say that. Like, if you take a chess piece and you throw it straight like a baseball, you might actually hurt someone. Like, it's not a joke. So that's why I underhand it. If somebody wants to actually see me throw a baseball, I'm a lefty, and I actually, if I ever have a chance to do a ceremonial first pitch, like I'll throw it from the mound and not from the ceremonial rubber ahead. I'll go all the way out to the mound and throw a proper first pitch at a baseball game if someone doesn't believe me.
Rensch talks about his new autobiography, Dark Squares, a book that goes beyond chess, covering his childhood, personal struggles, and the journey to building chess.com.
The reception has been great. I mean, last night we had 100 copies available. Thank you to the Checkmate organization who bought them in advance. And then people were purchasing them on site, and they sold out instantly. In fact, there were probably easily 30 to 40 people who were disappointed there weren't more. So I think many in the chess world are still sort of realizing that it's not a book totally about chess. And although chess is such an important through line for my life and the story, but the reception outside of the chess world has also been fascinating. There's so many people who are interested and I hope inspired by what the message really is and what it's about. And so it's just beginning, but I think it's going okay.
Fabiano Caruana reacts to winning the Grand Chess Tour. He won game after game, turning risky positions into wins. Fabi said, "I still could have lost, but I knew MVL would feel nervous. In Blitz, you always get chances. I felt very fortunate to be in that position."
Definitely winning the Grand Chess Tour makes it seem like a pretty decent year so far, just because, you know, it's the culmination of a long series of tournaments involving most of the best players in the world. You know, it misses Magnus in as a overall tour player, but he also plays in some events in the Grand Chess Tour, and it includes, you know, players like Gukesh, players like Prague, who's arguably the most successful player this year, Notterbeck, so we got the young generation. The final four that qualified were mostly players of, if you want to call us the old generation or the in-between generation, whatever you want to say. Levon, Maxime, and myself, and Prague, who has had a tremendous year.
The legends are back on the board. Viswanathan Anand and Garry Kasparov are facing off in clutch chess. The Legends 2025, a rapid and blitz chess 960 showdown. Here's how it works. 12 games across 3 days, with the stakes going up each round. Day 1 wins are worth 1 point and $1,000. Day 2, double the value, 2 points and $2,000. And Day 3 cranks it up to 3 points and $3,000 a win. The prize fund, a massive $144,000 with $70,000 for the winner. And if games are drawn, the prize rolls forward, meaning the final blitz games could be worth the entire bonus pot. Kasparov arrived fashionably late, but the buzz didn't slow down. Fans packed in for autographs from Anand, Fabiano Caruana, Levon Aronian, Yasser Seirawan, and Maurice Ashley. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and check out our latest video to stay updated with the latest news.